After waiting over a year for the brand new season, it's finally here. We have an episode of Miraculous. Sure, it's 6th in the production order, and we have to try to piece together new information that otherwise would have been explained in previous episodes, but would it really be miraculous without all that? Now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the brand new episode titled Furious Fu, but if you haven't, be warned, this review is going to have spoilers. That being said, let's jump into it. So to start off, we see Marinette and the Kwamis arguing about Master Fu's return to Paris, with the Kwamis desperate to see Master Fu, seeing as they'd lived with him for so long, and Marinette being torn over protecting the Kwamis now that Master Fu's lost his memories. So it seems to me, at least, that the majority of the Kwamis at this point have the maturity of a toddler. Seriously, how can they not comprehend they have to keep this ancient magic a secret? They make Plagg look responsible. Nevertheless, Marinette indulges them and brings them along. And it turns out she's completely right. They continue to completely lack self-awareness and almost completely ruin the meeting with Fu. Now, I can understand the background Kwamis being written to be a little stupid, but I was pushed off the edge when Waze of all Kwamis decides to crawl towards Fu. And not only that, he decides to talk. What happened to the end of Season 3 where he intentionally hides himself so Master Fu wouldn't be suspicious or confused after losing his memories? He literally says goodbye to him. It makes no sense and causes unnecessary cringe on my behalf. It just seems so out of character. And on top of that, Marianne obviously knows about the Miraculouses as well, so wouldn't she be super weirded out by Waze just appearing out of nowhere? It just seems like a bit of a dumb plot point to create drama for no reason. In any case, Marinette returns home to find creepy Su-Han just waiting in her bedroom. There's got to be more of him in previous episodes because otherwise, literally the first introduction we have to this guy is seeing him in a trash can like Oscar the Grouch. He then trash talks Fu, which you can't really blame him for considering as a child he caused him and all the other monks to get eaten and killed. And obviously this would make Fu unqualified, at least in his eyes, to hand out Miraculouses willy-nilly. I know he's meant to come across as rude and kind of villainous and antagonistic, but I understand where he's coming from. I mean, we know that Marinette and Adrian are more than capable heroes, but in his eyes, Fu was an idiot. Why would he trust what he's done? I can understand his point of view. I also loved how he reacted when Marinette said she didn't know who Cat Noir was. That one eyebrow raise indicated to me at least that there's probably no such rule and Fu was just a little bit paranoid. But probably rightfully so considering what happened to him in the end. Of course, you'd think that that would mean that Su-Han would then instruct them to reveal their identities to each other at the end of the episode, but obviously that would be too easy. They then meet up with Cat Noir, who continues to encourage Ladybug and be her emotional support animal. And at the sheer thought of Ladybug giving up being the Guardian and losing her memories of him, he completely loses it and gets a good ass whooping from Su-Han. It was actually really refreshing to see someone with no powers absolutely obliterate the heroes. I don't know why, it just made me laugh. Although it was kind of sad to see that it doesn't really take much for Ladybug to start doubting herself and believe that she doesn't deserve to be the Guardian. Hopefully this will pull Cat Noir further into the plot and help Ladybug become stronger throughout the season, knowing that she's not alone. But knowing how he's written, probably not. The pair then manage to escape from Su-Han and try to hide the miracle box for the time being. At this point, having lost his staff, Su-Han's had enough and decides to target Fu. Not only to take his cane, as he expects it'll have something inside to help him battle Ladybug and Cat Noir, but probably also to get a little bit of justice after what happened with the Sentimonster. Now Hawkmoth, or should I say Shadow Moth, is taking center stage ready to release an Akuma. I expect we'll understand a bit more about his combination of the two Miraculouses in a previous episode, but right now it seems pretty pointless in this instance because all he did was release an Akuma. There was nothing added by the Peacock Miraculous, at least to my knowledge, so why combine them every time? Did he need a fresh new look? Who knows? Also, side note, but I couldn't really tell from the translation, did Shadow Moth know that Su-Han is a guardian from the temple? If he does, shouldn't he make more of an effort to attack him or capture him to get more information about the Miraculouses? If he didn't know he was a guardian, at this point, you've got to say he's just an idiot. And if he does know he's a guardian, he clearly wasn't all that interested and therefore is also still an idiot. It's kind of sad that Shadow Moth has not increased in intelligence at all since adding a new Miraculous to his repertoire. So, obviously, the Akuma is heading right in the direction of an angry Su-Han who is blazing a trail to Master Fu. He then rather cruelly attempts to steal the cane from the old man with no remorse at all. Then he sees an Akuma and he freaks out, and I found this really interesting. I would have assumed the Butterfly Miraculous had for the most part been used for good up until the point it was stolen by Gabriel. Nuru previously seemed largely against evil actions, and it's implied that Gabriel was the first user to ever use the Butterfly Miraculous for his own gain. So either this Miraculous has a habit of falling into the wrong hands, or Su-Han's been in Paris for a while and has seen what the Akumas do. Neither of which is really clear, but I'm assuming it'll be explained at some point. Either that, or maybe he just inherently knows what it does, but I don't know about that. I'm probably looking too much into it, but it is an interesting thought. I also really like that he was able to use his powers to calm himself and make the Akuma leave him alone. It was just a really neat touch. Once he succeeds in warding the Akuma away, he takes Fu's cane, causing Fu to be completely distressed and getting akumatized. Su-Han rushes off, clearly having a serious fear of akumatized villains, which is all the more hilarious considering he beats up on Ladybug and Cat Noir so easily. He could have beat Fu. I know there's some excuse given as to why he doesn't fight, but it's still pretty lame on his behalf and feels like a very, very cheap writing choice so that Ladybug and Cat Noir can impress him. Su-Han then finds Ladybug and Cat Noir and demands the box back, but is closely followed by furious Fu. This ends up in an all-out battle royale, where the three teams fight for possession of the Miracle Box. Of course, in true Cat Noir fashion, he derps out and gets too into the moment, kicking a goal with the box and completely forgetting he's meant to try and grab it. Although I like this little moment, because it obviously shows that Adrian has inherited his intelligence from his dad. This leads to Fu getting a hold of the Miracle Box and Su-Han just completely giving up. How did this dude become a Guardian if he's so scared of villains? How pathetic is this dude? Ugh. Obviously, Ladybug and Cat Noir continue the battle, with Su-Han playing backseat driver trying to tell them what to do. Finally, he gets served up by Ladybug, who probably says something along the lines of, "At least we're trying and we don't give up, unlike you, so-called Guardian, etc, etc." In any case, Ladybug uses her lucky charm and lo and behold, a new suit transformation. So clearly, this isn't some unique cookie power-up like with the ice powers or the underwater powers. It's most likely just a new design choice. And I expect it's going to be explained away in a previous episode. It doesn't seem to give her any additional powers, but we'll wait and see. Although it's a shame that it doesn't last, because it's a better design. Obviously, our heroes succeed, and Su-Han decides to allow Marinette to remain the Guardian, offering to remain in Paris as support and keeping a watchful eye on her in case she stuffs up big time. To me, that seems a little bit ominous, like a bit of foreshadowing. And I guess we'll see how that plays out. And I am glad he's staying, because I think we need that kind of character in the show. Hopefully he can offer some big help to Marinette as a character and lead to significant growth in her powers as a hero. And in classic Miraculous fashion, Marinette gives Su-Han new sneakers, because his current sandals are trash, and that makes them friends now, I guess. I was laughing, but only because it was really weird. I didn't like that ending, it was really strange. I love Miraculous and its corniness, but for some reason, that ending just hit different. Overall, I'd say this episode was pretty average. I feel like because we knew the Guardian and Master Fu were coming for a long time with trailers, it kind of took away that X factor of surprise. And therefore, we were just left with a simple akumatized villain and takedown scenario. We knew Marinette was going to stay the Guardian, so there was no real stakes. However, I do feel like there's a lot to build off from here, and the season does look promising. But now I want to throw it to you guys. What do you think of the episode? Like it? Hate it? Make sure to leave a comment and let me know.